if you're using the statistics calculator in this particular section, uh, the first thing you should know is there's not really a whole lot that you need in terms of technology at this point in the class. But there are a couple of things that you might run into issues with, and the one that I think of first is the calculation of a midpoint. Now, the midpoint is, of course, the middle value in a class range of a frequency distribution. So let's calculate one, and just so you can see how to make sure to get the right answers here. To calculate a midpoint, you need to take the average of a lower class limit and an upper class limit. So let's say we have a lower class limit, hypothetically, of 15 and an upper class limit of 25. So if we try and get those averaged, what we would do is add all the numbers together, which there's just two, so just add the numbers together, and then divide by 2. Now, the problem here is that this calculator will use the order of operations in doing its calculations. So it's going to see that division and do it first. So you don't want that to happen. You need the 15 and the 25 to add together prior to the division. So you can also use parentheses. So just put parentheses around the two things that you want to happen first. So put parentheses around that addition, and then you can either press enter or you can hit calculate. Either way, it'll come up with the correct answer for you. And that's the best way to ensure that you get the right answer, because the only alternative there would be to just simply do the first calculation to start with, and then take that answer and then divide by 2, splitting it up into 2 calculations. But it's probably easier to just use the order of operations with the parentheses in this case. And the other calculations that you might have to do in this section generally don't run into many issues. Like, for instance, relative frequency, that calculation is just division. So all you would need to do is just divide 2 numbers. So let's say we have a class in a frequency distribution that has a frequency of 14 and a total number of data items that's 37, okay? So there's not much that you can run into with one operation to make a mistake using the order of operations. I think the only mistake that you could make is just maybe a rounding error, so not knowing how to properly round to a certain number of decimal places, but just be careful there, and you shouldn't have any other issues technology-wise in this particular section.